This is Joseph Electric from Phantom Electric Ghost. I'm the lead singer of the band, and we wanted to talk about some interesting stuff today. We've got a brand new record from PR Records label, a Swedish record label. It's coming out on September 18th. It's called Phantom Electric Ghost, the EP. And this is going to have 3 songs on it, including the track Disconnected Youth. Now, there's a review from Disconnected Youth from Music Gateway, Best New Music, and check that review out. But we wanted to talk today, we're going to actually show a different thing. We're going to go into what we call Expansive Jazz. So we created a song that we're really proud of called SD versus the Citizen Council. And that particular track is an interesting track that we're going to get into. It's going to be coming up forthwith. And we're really excited because what we did with this track is that it's a really interesting combination of our love of bands like Sun Ra and, Miles Davis and John Coltrane. And we took our Moog Grandmother, and we were able to get a really cool sound that approximates a saxophone. And that saxophone sound was something that we were looking at, we were trying to get, and we kind of fell into it because we always have this exercise in synthetic sound creation, or what we call, strange modulation. So we took our grandmother and we were playing around with her in the most clean sense, and we got this really interesting saxophone tone by playing with the modulation oscillator, the sample and hold circuit, the low pass and high pass filters. And we have a secret sauce of that that we kind of came up with. We don't know if we're going to reveal it, but this song was interesting because we played with the envelopes to kind of change the timing of when we hit the keys to create this kind of very, it's staccato and a kind of random and time holding. So like we hit the key and the key wouldn't really fire for a couple of seconds, playing with the LFO and the timing, kind of like a delay. And so with the envelope, we'd hit a note, maybe 30 seconds later, it'd kick off. And it would kind of ramp up and ramp down and give us this really cool improvisational kind of saxophone feel that you'll hear in the track. We think it's very exciting, and we're going to play it right now. So here we go. We're going to go on mute with our, we can make sure that we're going on mute. Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, that's how we do it. So we're going to go on mute, and then we'll talk to you later. This Josephine, like, we're back. This Josephine Electric, we're trying to get back in. Well, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Hi, we're back. Sorry about that. We were having a little audio difficulty. So this is Josephine Electric. We're back online. We're having a little trouble with our sound quality right here, but we just went through the actual song we were trying to get into, which is an interesting song. It was a jazz kind of freak out. I get my mastery. Yeah, a little not right now. So the idea we were trying to do, and when you do stuff on the net, it doesn't always work. But we are working on a podcast, you can see, and little difficulties from here to there. But what we just played was a song that had this mask doesn't want to work. So let's tell the truth. So that's me. Let's get back into it. So the idea is that we are using our Moog synthesizer to synthesize what we would call a pretty interesting our interpretation of a saxophone. So we used the Grandmother from Moog to actually create a sound that approximated a sax, and we tried to create this kind of jazz expansive sound vibe. And we're not sure if it did as well as we wanted it to, but that was what we were going for. And then we created a video from the track that we did last night that we think is a pretty interesting song. It's the title of it is yeah, now the volume's coming back in better. The title of the song is called SD versus the Citizen Council. Now the idea is it's like a sundown town. If you're not familiar with that, a sundown town is this concept of there are towns in the South and the Midwest that did not allow minorities or people of color to go outside after the sun went down. And then you had these councils called citizens councils that did not want civil rights. They wanted segregation and Jim Crow. And this idea that we kind of brought it back in this jazz song with no lyrics, sundown down versus the citizen council, is that what happened in Wisconsin is kind of continuation of that sundown idea or concept or rule, where you yeah. So what's cool about that, or not cool about it, is we like to take political electronic ideas, and the idea in this song was to be political with the name of the song, and then have this kind of jazz feel, and the jazz feel, came from the Moog, and that we were able to get this very organic, saxophone sound from playing with the modulation oscillator, the sample and hold circuit, and spring reverb and actual real spring reverb. We use the high pass and low pass filters in series, and it really created an interesting tone. And it had a little bit of a delay as we hit the notes that caused the kind of spacing of the notes and a way that a sax player would play. Now, we actually started our career on clarinet. We had some idea of how we should do the intonation for it, and it came off pretty good. And, our mask idea didn't work so well, but this mask was created by an artist called Chernobello. So Chernobello did this shirt as well. You can see my T-shirt. So this art was on our album in 2017 called To Infinitum. On To Infinitum, Chernobello did the cover at chernobello.com. He does like MC Escher type psychedelic art, but it's all in black and white. And so this is a representation of, we're calling it Josephine Electric. And typically I use a mask, but we were having some audio problems. But yeah, this is my LED costume without the LEDs turned on. And Josephine Electric is me. As you can see, I can play with her sound. I can make her sound pretty deep. I can make her sound really interesting.
And I can get this high without getting high.
Oh, no, Josephine, now you shouldn't do things like that. But it really messes up the manga sensibilities, but I think,
I really don't care
About
what they want to say about me. Because it's not about me, it's about the scene. And I'm into everything in that scene. And you know that Josephine is more than a meme. Josephine is the scene. You know that.
so that's kind of how we go with playing with our VT4 vocal transformer, which is this little device here. This is what creates our sound for Josephine. We've been using it for years. We started with a VT3, and then we moved to the VT4 because the VT4 does this.
Polyphonic chorus. And it's pretty cool when we get in tune. You can get really interesting with what you can do with this vocoder. It real time, creates character. Like if you get into the
I think people should listen to us, not because of studio tricks,
get down into it. And that's how people should talk about Phantom Electric Ghost.
But I think people really want to hear Miss Josephine Electric because Miss Josephine is everything that any man would ever want. Is when I talk with my sister Stephanie and the Windover girls go to the rave, sometimes we forget that we get into that craze, and it's pretty extreme. But
But that's just us playing around with the VT4 again. Not that we're plugging, rolling, but we do like it. We think it's one of the coolest vocoders around. And when you can't afford the $15,000 16-channel Moog vocoder, it's a good use of technology. So again, check out SD versus the Citizen Council on SoundCloud, and our upcoming release, which is going to be on all streaming services from our new record label. We've got a 3-song CD. Well, it's supposed to be on CD, but it's initially going to come out as an EP called Phantom Electric Ghost, the EP, on September 18th. It's going to have the song Disconnected Youth. Now, we're going to share a screen and talk about Disconnected Youth for a second. So I'm going to, as I talk, I'm going to go pick up the review. There was a review on Music Gateway. And Music Gateway is a cool service for pitching for artists, right? So the idea as an artist, you pitch to get like a gig. And musicgateway.com has the ability for you to pitch to all these different gigs. And when you pitch the gig, you're able to. I'll just keep on talking. When you pitch the gig, you can get yourself a contract or a record deal, or ability to work on a film soundtrack. So again, musicgateway.com, we don't get paid by them, but we think if you're an individual artist, a musician, and you're looking to get work in this coronavirus time, they're a pretty cool choice. So we're gonna go and we're gonna look up this thing that they did for us. It's still there. Oh, for some reason, I'm not getting. Okay, we want to get that. Let's go. Again, just the idea of it, we're trying to show a review that we had on Music Gateway. Okay, we're getting it up right now. But the cool thing is, when you're a musician, you're always looking for people to give you a good review of your music. And this is something that we've been very excited about, because over the years it's been hard to get traction as an artist. But we're gonna get into this review. You should be able to see it now. So Music Gateway has a service called Best Music Spotlight, and we're gonna actually just kind of talk about it. We're gonna put it on our StreamYard. I'm gonna bring it up. So we have the full screen. Now we're gonna show the full review and talk about it right now. Not there, but here. So Best Music Spotlight. And what we have here is a review from Jonathan Robinson on the 16th of June, 2020. And here we're going to talk about it a little bit. Heavily processed electronic percussion, hectic and unrelenting squeals drive the ear without pause. Disconnected Youth. The raspy vocal delivery with industrial pounding that comes through like Trent Reznor on a bad day with the best results. When reading of Phantom Electric Ghost being an electronic band, certain assumptions are made. They are, however, just as quickly cast aside as the uniquely raucous arrangement takes over the preconceptions. It's made apparent from the start of the track it is not light listening venture. It's not a light listening venture. Um, Through the unchanging rhythm section becomes trans though the unchanging rhythm section becomes trance-like in its minimalist execution, combined with unpredictable dissonant phrases that sit constantly on the edge of melodic breakup, erratic melting into PLL-like flurry of falling pitches, a PLL-like flurry of falling pitches. The two elements layer over and under each other, swapping focus and responsibility throughout the track. Though the sheer number of sonic events happening in the track leaves little room for variations of the technique, the shifting volumes of sound add a hazy depth to the work. At times, the relentless drums are filtered to the point of trashy, weak sounding tapping. Other times, they are aggressively pounding the eardrum, almost taking precedent over the vocal lead by way of pure confrontation. Disconnected Youth is by no means a light listen, but it is a memorable sonic experience. For fans of industrial electronic sounds, it will fit well and refreshing simplicity in its compositional process. The overall rating from this review is 8 out of 10, and we are paired well with Pretty Hate Machine, 9 Inch Nails. And again, if those you don't know, like Phantom Electric Ghost is a person electronic band. It's my personal means of expressing sounds and concepts that have been within me for years. I'm a cancer survivor who overcame a level 3 sarcoma in 1997. This life altering experience prompted me to double down on writing music as a serious passion and serious pursuit. Since then, I've comprised over 577 compositions. Well, that's a lie. I've actually comprised over 3,000. My music is on Spotify, SoundCloud, Tidal, Apple Music. I have a podcast on Anchor FM and Spotify and Apple Podcast under the title Phantom Electric Ghost, where we interview bands and artists, poets, actors, and creators. So if you're interested in being on our podcast, send an email to phantomelectricghost@gmail.com. That's phantomelectricghost@gmail.com. Or you can send a direct message to Phantom Electric Ghost on Facebook, or a direct message on our Instagram, which is the Instagram that we have is expansive underscore sound underscore experiments. Expansive underscore sound underscore experiments. And we'll go to our Instagram for a second so you can see that. So just let me type it in. If I can type. So we're going to go into our Instagram so you can see who we are. Again, that's our Instagram, expansive underscore sound underscore experiments. Send us a direct message and we can get you on the podcast. We do video podcasts like this one on StreamYard. That, however, is $25 per episode. The Anchor FM audio podcast is free. So again, send us a direct message to expansive underscore sound underscore experiments if you want to be on the program. So we're excited to be able to talk about all these things. Check out our SoundCloud as well with the track All the Ways to Cross the Line. So we're going to get back into okay.